You are watching ABC 7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. A hearing to discuss installing a new diverging diamond at the Fruitville Road interchange is happening right now at Selby Library.
FDOT is asking for your opinion as they design that new interchange, and not everyone is on board. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is live at Selby Library now with more details. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline Scott. FDOT tells me they're just in the planning phase for this potential diverging diamond, so what you think does make a difference. The project would also widen about 2 miles of I-75 to a 6-lane highway from Palmer Boulevard to north of Fruitville Road. The diverging diamond would add 2 lanes to the existing 3 on Fruitville Road from Honore Avenue to east of Coburn. It will also replace the existing bridges in that area.
It increases the capacity through the interchange. It also significantly increases safety and efficiency through the interchange, as has been witnessed on the University Parkway diverging diamond, which was the first one in the state.
You know, to get out, if they have, you want to disperse traffic.
Group called Sarasota Initiative tells me this would ruin 10 years of planning and close to $1 million. This engineer tells me he's been working with Sarasota County commissioners since 2010 to bring a new downtown-style development on the 5 parcels of land here. The plan was to transform the land to a walkable space with shops, restaurants, and even housing. But this diverging diamond would completely destroy all of the time and money they spent planning this.
And that just defeats the whole purpose of dispersing traffic and walkability. You've created this transportation wall, basically, and you can't really disperse traffic and have a street grid when you have to put it all onto one street and go through one signal.
Now, FDOT says they're still working through the details of this project and don't even have the funding yet. Likely good news for that Sarasota initiative, who tells me they will be here to voice their opinion. I'm live at Selby Library. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Taylor, thank you. Taking a look at traffic in that area right now, the eastbound lanes of Fruitville Road are backed up between Honore Avenue and I-75. Some minor congestion heading west on Fruitville as well.
Well, it's still days away, but the Sarasota Police Department is already letting people know about the massive crowds that will be here for the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival. The annual event starts Saturday. There will be events through the 4th of July. To make sure the crowd stays safe and can enjoy the festival, there will be some off and on road closures. To help you navigate through all that traffic and closures, we have a map highlighting all the changes. You can just go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and look for this story.
Look, I am looking forward to that. The weather looks like it might be pretty well for that as well.
Yeah, I think they start with a golf tournament and then they just do all kinds of fun events throughout the week. Here's Bob Harrigan with more on our forecast.
Yes, I'll be at the golf tournament emceeing the event with Lulu from the radio, and we are going to look at some very warm temperatures at the Meadows this year. Again, that golf tournament kind of kicks everything off. It's the Rizzy tournament, and 88 degrees right now. We have sunshine. Look at this number, 100. That's what it feels like. Don't normally get there this early in the season. Typically, this is kind of a situation you see in August, but really it's going to stick around on Friday, too, and even on Saturday. So keep that in mind, golfers. 29.93 on the barometer, which is a little lower than it has been because high pressure is getting knocked down to the south into the Florida Straits. And what that means for us here, we get a west wind. West wind means high dew point temperatures and warm, very hot temperatures is that. And we heard it earlier, hot weather, safety, slow down, dress for summer. That's light-colored, loose-fitting clothing, obviously to let you perspire and get rid of some of the heat that's built up. And watch what you eat. Obviously, don't want anything heavy. Drink plenty of water. And stay out of the direct sunlight. Find the shade. Made in the shade, and also air conditioning. That's what I like, the air conditioning, especially in the heat of the day. Heavy weather cooling things off. Mother Nature's air conditioner taking aim right there at Daytona Beach down to Orlando. But for us, we do not have much cooling shower activity around here. It has cooled significantly into Highlands County. But boy, the lightning is really impressive here. And this is going to be start of the season, I believe, on Sunday, really, for a lot more lightning. Just in that area that I show you right there, that's 490 strikes just in the last 5 minutes or so. And positive strikes, 235. Those are the bigger ones that have more amperage and can cause fires as well as cause trees to explode due to the heating up of the water and sap and moisture in those trees. And you can see this storm is falling apart. So it's not going to make it to Venice Beach or Venice. You can write that one off. We're not going to see that pop up anytime soon. As far as the wind flow goes, I mentioned it stays out of the west. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Even after the president signed an executive order to stop the separation of families at the border, the controversy over the treatment of those children continues. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez shows us the human side of the immigration crisis at a detention facility in California.
From California to New York, 2,300 children separated from their parents at the border since May, waiting in facilities like this and in foster care with no timeline or clear plan to reunite them with their families.
These kids have been traumatized.
With the only images coming from inside these shelters provided by the government, 20 mayors from across the country showing up at this facility along the border in Texas, requesting a first-hand look and action from the administration.
Yesterday was the right thing to do, but it leaves as many questions unanswered as it resolves.
First Lady Melania Trump bringing her own questions to this shelter in Texas, making a surprise visit Thursday afternoon.
How many times they speak with their relatives?
Bianca Ortanes Lopez from El Salvador says she last spoke with her 8-year-old son Abel 2 months ago when she was detained. Saying they told me to say bye to him. To this day, I don't know where he went. She is still hoping for a moment like this. 10-year-old Samuel separated from his father 8 months ago, silent and overwhelmed as he was finally reunited with his family in Guatemala.
It may be even difficult once they're reunited with their parents. It may take a long time for this trauma to be resolved and these children to be healed.
Another concern is how to make reunions like that possible, because right now there isn't an agency keeping track of where all of those parents and children are being held. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, El Cajon, California.
And before the president signed the new policy into effect, 3 major airlines said they would refuse to transport children who had been separated from their parents at the borders. American, United, and Frontier Airlines all releasing official statements saying the administration's policy conflicts with their values. Experts say it's a tough policy to enforce because the government does not have to disclose the reason kids are flying.
And Time magazine's latest cover shows a stark image of the Trump administration's separation of immigrant families at the U.S.-Mexico border. The cover shows President Trump towering over the now iconic image of a sobbing immigrant girl recently separated from her parents. The illustration includes 3 words: "Welcome to America."
Countries that were once America's greatest allies are now finding new goods to tax as America heads deeper into numerous trade wars. ABC 7's Alan Cohn has more on what this means for you living here on the Suncoast. Alan?
Scott, the plot thickens when it comes to trade wars with Canada and China. The president now imposing a new $50 billion in tariffs on China. The experts tell us you will see the effect. Higher taxes on goods means higher prices for the average consumer. There are already been an increase in prices for milk after Canada refused to budge on a dairy tariff. President Trump hit back with a 25% tariff on steel and 10% on aluminum. Enough back and forth to make your head spin, but will it be worth it in the end?
The piece is you will see some sort of intended goal come out of it. The question will really become, and it's something we can't really predict very well, is will the unintended consequences and cost outweigh the benefit that is seen?
Coming up tonight at 7, we'll have more on the ongoing battle between the president and the countries we do business with. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Alan. New at 5, a huge security change at Florida's busiest airport. Orlando International Airport is now the first airport in the country to require all passengers on international flights to get face scans. That includes U.S. citizens. Customs and Border Protection officials say the goal is to make sure passengers are not traveling with fake documents or overstaying their visas. But privacy advocates are worried there are no rules about how that data is handled.
Anna Maria Island is named the 6th happiest seaside town in America by Coastal Living magazine. That magazine allowed fans to vote on their favorite seaside town and narrowed it down to 10 finalists. Anna Maria Island came in 6th place out of those 10. The magazine looked at the town's percentage of clear and sunny days, healthiness of beaches, commute times, and many other coastal factors.
Sunny day today for them.
And it's a special place for sure. Still to come in your Suncoast News, if you're looking to lose weight, you may be viewing carbohydrates as the enemy.
But that doesn't need to be the case. We'll give you a few healthy alternatives to try coming up next.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Get KBB's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for just $23,999. Or save big and get the new Chrysler 300 Touring with an MSRP over $30,000 for just $21,999. That's a savings of over $8,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota today.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Are you looking to lose weight by counting your carbohydrates? While the low-carb diet trend is still going strong, some experts say you should pay more attention to quality, not quantity. Melissa Rainey explains.
If there's any facet of nutrition that tends to get a bad rap, it's usually carbs. People love to hate carbs, especially if they're trying to lose a few inches. But carbs are pretty essential in more ways than you might have guessed. Based on a daily 1,800 calorie diet, the Institute of Medicine recommends that adults get 45 to 65% of their calories from carbs. That means about half of what you're eating on a daily basis should come from, you guessed it, carbohydrates. And the more natural and unprocessed they are, the better for your health. So next time you're grocery shopping, consider these few alternatives. Instead of white rice, opt for brown rice or quinoa. And instead of cookies or sweets, opt for fresh or even dried fruits. According to a research scientist in the Department of Nutrition at Harvard, when it comes to your diet, try not to give too much mind space to one particular thing. Rather, focus your goal on your overall health. For today's Health Minute, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Hey, the first one of the summer. This is it. Sunset tonight. Casey Key webcam showing comfortable conditions out there. You see that one lone shower right there? It's kind of going on by. There's only one. Calm conditions, and for the most part, we're looking at a nice sunset tonight. It looks as though this is the longest day of the year. 13 hours and 52 minutes. How long the sun, or at least light, is out there. Look at the thunderstorms blowing up. Now with this west wind, typically during a normal summer day, you'll see these build in central Florida, then work their way toward the west coast. But you'll notice most of this action heading off to the east. There's a little trough of low pressure to the north of us, and that is allowing for more of a westerly component to our wind flow due to the fact that high pressure has slipped down to the south into the straits. Boy, the rainfall rates are heavy here, and you'll notice the collisions of the outflow boundaries are everywhere. And it's really starting to fire up now in eastern portions of DeSoto County, also into southeast Hardee County and into Highlands County, some bigger storms there, but not much. In Manatee, Sarasota, all is fairly quiet. And as far as the rainfall rates go, up to about 2 inches an hour. You can see where the lightning is becoming less and less, those storms are dropping below that 30,000 foot level, but they're starting to pick up here. So you better believe those storms are towering into the upper levels of the atmosphere. Elsewhere across the Gulf of Mexico, all is fairly quiet. You'll notice one lone strike there with a cell or two. We do see with this kind of pattern a land breeze develop. It's not nearly as prevalent as the sea breeze. The sea breeze is much more defined due to the contrast in temperatures. But at night and overnight, the land areas will cool down into the mid to upper 70s, especially inland, and the water temperature still into the upper 80s. So you get an opposite effect. The air here is rising as a result of that warmer water. The Gulf of Mexico has to be filled in by the cooler air, and that brings that land breeze out in the Gulf. So we could see a few isolated showers along the coast in the morning. The rain chance now is not very high, though, at all. The forecast temperature is 81 degrees by 11 o'clock. It'll feel more like 90 at 11 o'clock tonight. As far as the atmosphere content is in terms of moisture availability, there's not a lot out there right now. We expect that to moisten up, though, into Sunday and throughout next week. They've got plenty of it here in Texas, as this low pressure area has, for the most part, pulled up stationary. Luckily, it's over land, but it's still drawing a lot of moisture in from the Gulf of Mexico with its counterclockwise rotation around it. It's drawing that moisture in. It heats up, brings heavy rainfall into South Texas, flash flooding, life-threatening flooding occurring over South Texas. For us, 88 degrees. It feels like 100, and the dew point's way up there, 77 degrees. Our high today above average, 91, 79 was the morning low. Another area of low pressure spinning right there. You can see it dropping down into Missouri now, and the attendant cold front stretching down all the way into the lower Mississippi Valley. There's not much to that cold front. The air behind it isn't all that cool. But it is going to bring a little shift in rain as far as wind goes, and rain down into the southeast United States, and that will keep us in that westerly component. Temperatures behind that area of low pressure, drawing it in from the northeast. 75 now in Kansas City, St. Louis, 77. But just to the south in Dallas, it's 101. That's the actual temperature, not feels like. Boston a bit cooler now at 69. Toronto, 72. For boaters tomorrow, west winds 10 knots, and seas will be right around 2 feet or less, and there'll be a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The water temperature 87 degrees. It usually tops out right around 90. It doesn't get much warmer than that during the heart of summer. 88 degrees for beaches tomorrow. The UV index will be high at a 12. The extended forecast as we look through time. Heat index up near 100 to 105 tomorrow in the afternoon, typically around 3 to 5 p.m. And that'll stay with us on Saturday. So for the Bob Rizzi Memorial Golf Tournament at the Meadows, and tee time is at 8:30. It's going to be another warm day, so golfers beware. That is going to be kind of a warm and muggy day. Although we won't get rained out, it doesn't appear. There may be a few isolated showers around in the morning. And then 60% to 50% all the way through Sunday through Tuesday of next week. And that's going to be getting back into those afternoon and evening storms. By the way, folks, July 4th weekend is typically the highest weekend for the amount of lightning strikes to people. So, again, that's the most dangerous. A lot of people outdoors. There'll be storms around, so be careful out there. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Bob, for that. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Right now, both the north and southbound lanes of US 301 are backed up in the downtown Sarasota area. Most of the congestion is heading south on 301 between 12th Street and Fruitville Road. Scott?
Thanks, Jacqueline. Thousands of small companies may soon have to start charging sales tax to their out-of-state customers after a U.S. Supreme Court ruling. That ruling declaring the state can require online orders to pay a sales tax. Some small retailers have worried that having to charge sales tax could drive away some customers or give an advantage to businesses in states that do not have a state sales tax.
If you're heading to the airport, the FBI wants you to be aware. Investigators say they're seeing a growing number of sexual assault cases on commercial airline flights. There was a 66% increase in cases opened by the FBI from 2014 to 2017, up from 38 investigations of mid-air sexual assault to 63. The agency said that the actual number of cases could be much higher. Many of those assaults happen on flights when the cabin is dark and the victim is asleep. The agency launching a campaign earlier this year called Be Air Aware, asking people to come forward if they may have been victims.
Scammers are targeting Wells Fargo debit card users with fraudulent Amazon charges. Victims say the false charges surfaced over the last few months at around $14 per charge. One victim says she's been falsely charged more than 90 times on 4 debit cards since April. Each false charge was listed as an Amazon Prime membership fee, which she doesn't have. If you think you're a victim of this hack, contact Wells Fargo immediately. Wells Fargo also has more information about fraud scams on its website.
Do you ever wish your fruits and veggies lasted longer? Well, one agricultural company is looking to help. Appeal Sciences is helping to fight food waste by extending the shelf life of its produce. Their line of avocados, launched on Tuesday, are marketed as having double ripe time so they don't go bad as quickly. The company says it uses materials already found in fruits and vegetables to add extra skin or peel that helps preserve freshness naturally. Well, stay with us. Entertainment news is coming up next.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan, featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
It's summer on the Suncoast, and you know what that means. It's Friday Fest season.
And you are invited. Join ABC7 for the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall's free outdoor summertime concert series.
Jam to dance music by Ja Movement on June 22nd. The Movement is sure to get you dancing.
With food trucks, beverage vendors, and more, it's the perfect spot to enjoy great music and a summer sunset over the bay.
For more information, go to this number or go to mysuncoast.com/FridayFest.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
In entertainment news, after 4,000 episodes, The Jerry Springer Show will no longer make any new episodes.
But The Jerry Springer Show will not disappear. NBC Universal said this week that the CW and other networks that have bought the show in syndication will air reruns of that slugfest starting next fall. At its heyday in the 1990s, Springer, who lives part-time here in Sarasota, challenged Oprah Winfrey for daytime TV domination.
Tennis superstar Serena Williams putting down the racket for a moment this week to talk about domestic abuse. As the ambassador for Allstate's Purple Purse Foundation, the goal for Williams is to help stop domestic abuse and the financial abuse that can accompany such relationships. She says the conversation shouldn't just center around women, but men as well, and education should begin at a young age. Demi Lovato releasing her new single today. It's called Sober, in which she sings about relapsing after 6 years in recovery. The song's lyrics express apologies to her family and fans for the relapse and a promise to get help. The 25-year-old has struggled with addiction in the past, along with mental illness and an eating disorder. She relapsed after going into treatment in 2011, but then got sober again and marked 6 years of sobriety this past March.
Jane Fonda will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at a Northern Michigan Film Festival led by fellow Oscar winner Michael Moore. Fonda won Best Actress Academy Awards for her performance in Klute in 1971 and Coming Home in 1978. Since 2015, she has starred in the Netflix sitcom Grace and Frankie. Her most recent film was the comedy Book Club.
Former Beatle Paul McCartney has released some new music and says he's got some more on the way, too. The 76-year-old musician releasing 2 new singles Wednesday. They're called I Don't Know and Come On To Me. His first album in 5 years will be out in September, and it will be called Egypt Station.
Sure, a lot of people looking forward to those songs and the ones that he's got.
Just a few fans, yeah.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The summer sizzles at the Players Center with the opening of Crossing Delancey. City cultures collide in this charming play about a young woman searching for love and the New York dream. Opening June 14th, call 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Get your tickets to the perfect romantic comedy, Crossing Delancey.
Me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Like ABC7 WWSB on Facebook.